Good morning, Unity of Walnut Creek. How's everybody doing? How you doing out there in online land? What did she just say? I don't know. And how's everybody doing outside? We're getting some rain, and we're staying covered under the rain. It's beautiful. We have Sharon Henderson and Reflection in the house. They're going to take it away. Start us off this morning.
I am as God created me. Your words are going to be on the screen. I want you to sing along as God leads you to sing in your spirit. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am. I am. I am as love created me. I am a light in this world. I am as love created me. I am. I am as love created me. I am a light in this world. I am as love created me. I am. Sing I am. I am. Come on, church. I am. I am. I am as God created. Let me hear you. All right now. I am as God created me. I am. I am as God created me. I'm a light in this world. All right, I hear some harmony out there. As God created me. I am. Sing I am. Whole and complete. I am perfectly made. I am the one with God. I am. Come on, you sing. Whole and complete. for yourself. I am as God created me. I am a light in this world. I am as God created me. I am. Yes, I am. Yes, yes.
Good morning. Welcome to our Unity of Walnut Creek service. I'm Carolyn Jansen. No, wait a minute. No, I'm Don Shaw.
And I'm Danae Ligon, so. But I'll be Carl Jansen today, thank you. Welcome, everybody. So glad to see you here this morning.
Well, we want to greet and bless everyone who's watching online. We're so glad to have you here because your presence adds to our spiritual experience here in the room. Thank you for joining us. Please join me in welcoming our veteran guest musicians. They're not really guest musicians. It's part of the family. Sharon, Lee, and Vino, and first-timer, new member of the family. We're adopting her today, Carrie Streeter on piano. Thank you, Carrie.
Reverend Johanna Van Gelder will deliver today's message, which is titled Joy and Grace in the Body.
Before we begin, I invite you to take your devices and silence them because we're going to have a really nice meditation in just a few minutes. And you don't want your phone to be the one that everybody says, whose phone is that?
Let's take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land.
We honor the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people of today, and we're grateful for those who stewarded this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred native grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living.
Amen.
And our vision for the world is, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
Our mission is who we have come here to be. Let's say this together. We are a
loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all.
And let's continue with our core values together. Love, connection, service, and wisdom.
Ushers, come forward. If you are with us for the first time, welcome. And if you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so that we might give you a welcome packet. Good to see you. Nice. Thank you for being here. There she is. Thanks for being with us today. We invite you to visit our bookstore, which is across the patio after the service, and receive a welcome gift. And we hope you can stay and choose to visit with us after the service. And we have phenomenal coffee in the bookstore, too.
Well, we didn't tell Carl that the coffee machine is a little finicky this morning, and we may or may not have the coffee problem solved by
I had some, so.
Okay. Well, connection cards. Does anyone have a connection card that you could hold up so we can see them? Connection cards are for everyone, and they are available in the seat back in front of you. You may, with this card, submit a prayer request, or you may, a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information, so please place your card in a basket along with the offering later. For those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website. We have several activities to highlight this week.
We always do. Mm-hmm. Halloween is coming soon. I know, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So celebrate the season with a hand-painted pumpkin created by Unity's children. The children will be on the patio today after the 11:30 service selling yummy baked goods and hand-painted pumpkins.
Yeah. Are you new to Unity or returning after a long absence or willing to welcome people who are new to Unity? Join us next Sunday, October 29th at 1 o'clock in the community room for our new to Unity welcome. Enjoy light snacks and make new friends and learn a bit about Unity.
I will be there because it's always fun to meet new people.
It is.
It's voting season at Unity of Walnut Creek. Mark your calendar for our annual meeting on Sunday, November 5th. Enjoy lunch after the services in the community room. or on the lawn before heading into the sanctuary for this important community meeting at 1:30 p.m. Vote for new board members, review the 2024 budget, and celebrate our accomplishments for the year. Members and non-members are welcome.
For more information and to register for these events, please see our website, or you may visit our welcome tables outside for flyers.
As we prepare for our time of meditation, please join me in becoming aware that we are in our bodies here by taking a conscious breath. We immediately feel the difference, don't we? Let's take one more conscious breath. And affirming our statement of faith together, there is
only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God.
We begin with music, followed by guided meditation and silence.
Let praises rise from the inside of me. May God delight in the inside of me. Come fill my life from the inside of me. Set me on fire from the inside of me. 'Cause all I want is for God to be glorified, for God to be lifted high. All I want is for God to be glorified, for God to be lifted high. Let praises rise from the inside of me. May God delight in the inside of me. Come fill my life from the inside of me. Set me on fire from the inside of me. 'Cause all I want is for God to be glorified, for God to be lifted high. All I want is for God to be glorified, glorified, for God to be lifted high. Let praises rise from the inside of me.
And as we take a deep breath into our abdomen and exhale long, we celebrate that God is expressing as us, as our mind, spirit, and body. We celebrate that the light of God, that the light of the divine, that the life force is as light in every cell of our bodies. So yes, we let praises rise as we bring our attention to the truth of who we are, as we inhabit the divine expression called our body. We let praises rise from every cell, remembering that truth, embracing that truth. And as we put our attention on the truth of our bodies, the light shines even brighter. As we bring our attention to the truth of our being, expressing as our bodies, then we glorify the divine. Because glorifying the divine is living in the truth, respecting the truth, honoring the truth. So we are with it. We rest in it, in the silence. And as we are bathing in the light of every cell of our body, the light that shines through our senses, the light that shines through our circulation system, through our vascular system, through our nervous system, in every organ, in our bones, in our flesh, in our blood. We celebrate that light and we breathe and we create space. So we let the praises rise. And so it is.
Let praises rise from the inside of me. May God delight in the inside of me. Come fill my life from the inside of me. Let praises rise from the inside of me. Amen. Time God is good. There are no mistakes made in God. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah, all good, all good. Yes, yes. For we know that our spirit, mind, and our body are one with God. Part of the I am. I am that I am. And so are you. We are all one. There's only one thing happening here. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. All right, so I am we bring today. Come on. Ooh, I am. Come on, church, help me out. An angel asked me, do you know who you are? The question and the answer is not very far. The song of the sages, the knowledge of the ages is living where you reside. You have the key that unlocks the door to enter in that sacred place you haven't been before, where deep meets deep, soul to soul. Feel that connection as the truth unfolds. I am. Dancing service. Come on. You have the answer. Yes, you have the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you to be. Look deep inside you. Trust the force that guides you. Well, it knows the way. are one in the same, a child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are, I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are, you are. I am mystical. Oh, I am love. And you live in me from the very low to the heavens above. I am. Ooh, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. There's no separation. We are one in the same, a child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are, I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You I am, I am. Ooh, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. That I am. Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Good morning. I am so honored to hear Sharon Henderson. It's like I said it during first service and I want to say it again. It's like I've heard Sharon over the years and she truly lives the teachings and it comes through in her music. Can you feel it in your body? It's fantastic, right? So thank you so much. Matthew Sanford was 13 years old when he was in the car with his father and with his sister during icy conditions. And the car skidded off the road and his father died, and so did his sister. And Matthew was quite seriously injured. He had many broken bones. Some of his organs weren't functioning well, and part of his spinal cord was shredded. When he came to, he did not remember the car accident. His bones started to heal, his organs started to function again, but the spinal cord did not repair itself, and Matthew was paralyzed from the waist down. Matthew had been an athlete before he was in the car accident, and it was suggested to him that he would focus on building up his upper body and become an athlete in a wheelchair. And so he did. For 12 years, that's what he did. He built up his upper body, and then when he was 25, he noticed that his experience of himself was a floating upper body, because he was told not to pay any attention to the lower part of his body, so he was completely disconnected from it. And then he met an Iyengar yoga teacher. And in Iyengar yoga, they teach that when we align our body in certain postures, we allow the energy to flow freely in the body. And when we breathe into spaces, we expand it, and the energy flows more, especially when we breathe into spaces we're not aware of. So the yoga teacher supported him, and with the help of props, actually put his whole body in yoga postures. And he started to breathe into his lower body. And then he discovered that even though he didn't remember the car accident, his body did. And so he started to experience sensations, and, a certain freedom came, but with it also came all the feelings. So in the process of doing yoga and freeing himself, and as he says, healing himself, and not healing himself in the sense of that now he can walk, because he cannot, is like healing himself from within, is like embracing his wholeness through embracing the lower part of his body as well. But it was, as he says, it's like it wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't like, oh, he just turned the switch and that was it, and he was in bliss and felt whole. It was a process, because all the emotions came up, because all the emotions were stored in the body. He says his 13-year-old body took the impact of the accident and stored it. So that was being released, and he needed to give it space. So we're in week 3 of a 6-week series of studying Krista Tippett's book called Becoming Wise, an inquiry into the mystery and art of living. I've said this title so many times, and I still have to think about it. So it's becoming wise. Becoming is growing into. Wise is embracing wisdom we have, integrating the wisdom, the knowledge we have, and making it part of our being so we don't even have to think about it. We live it. So that is becoming wise. And then what we're doing, it's an inquiry. So we're asking questions. We're asking questions about the mystery, and a mystery is something we cannot encompass fully. That's why it's called a mystery. But we can probe, we can ask questions, we can learn about it. And the art of living, the expression of how we move and have our being in the world. So that's what we're doing today in relation to the body. So we're asking probing questions, we're looking at, what role does our body have in our art of living, in the mystery of living, right? And Matthew Sanford's story is an incredible story, because he has so many lessons in the journey that he walked that we can use. But as we make this inquiry, we need to understand from which place we're coming. And it's like, Sharon, thank you again for the beautiful music this morning, because it totally sets the tone. Sharon has said it's the teachings of unity. We are an expression of the divine, spirit, mind, and body. Our body is an expression of the divine. It has intelligence, much more than we actually give it credit for. It is present. And so I have a quote here from Henry Ward Beecher, who says this very beautifully. He's a clergyman, or was a clergyman, anti-slavery activist and a reformer in the 19th century, and he said, God made the human body. God made the human body, and it's the most exquisite and wonderful organization which has come to us from the divine hands. Now think of your own body, and I'm going to read this again. God made your body, and your body is the most exquisite and wonderful organization which has come to you from the divine hands. So that is the premise when we start to inquire into how the body plays a role in the art of living. The other thing that is really important, and again, that also came back in the music this morning, it's the understanding that God is all that there is, so there is no place where God is not. This also means that we are all connected. How we live in our bodies, how we inhabit our bodies, actually does affect our environment. When I'm with a person who is really comfortable in their body, I relax. It makes a difference, right? When I inhabit my body and I know what is there, excuse me, and I'm aware of what is there, then I interact differently with the world and with people and in situations. I'm more flexible than when I stuff something away that I don't want to deal with. Because if I have stuffed something away that I don't want to deal with, and somebody says something that kind of pokes at that, I can have quite a reaction, even when that thing that is happening over there, seemingly, is really not that big of a deal. There's a saying in psychology that I really like. It's like, when it is hysterical, it's historical. And it tells me that when I'm overreacting, I need to look at what is going on for me. That doesn't always mean that I condone what is going out there, but when I get hysterical about it, then there's already something in me that I'm not addressing. Right? So, how did we get disconnected in the first place? So, of course, there is Matthew Stanford's story. It's like there is trauma, and the brain just the mind cannot process it. So what it does, it stores it in the body. Bessel van der Kolk, he's a psychiatrist, and he has done a lot of research on trauma. I like his definition he has for trauma. He says trauma are the effects of overwhelming experiences on people and society. So trauma is the effects of overwhelming experiences on people and society. Now, it's important to realize that there are overwhelming experiences. What is overwhelming experience for me might not be an overwhelming experience for you. The key is that we have an experience that we cannot process, that we cannot deal with. And what we do is to survive, is to suppress it so that we can move on, which at times is very useful because sometimes we just need to move on. We just need to do other things. Where the problem comes in is like when there is no space or time where we can actually process it. And then it starts to affect our lives in different ways, right? But besides that, it also can be that we just don't want to deal with something, right? That is not necessarily overwhelming. We just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to be with it. We don't like the situation. We don't want to take the time to inquire. We just don't want to do it, and we suppress it. But again, it's still sitting there. It's still working us. A simple example can be, it's like having a disagreement with somebody, and it just never gets resolved. And every time you see that person, there's this little poke, It's like, it's just there. It's just uncomfortable, but, you just don't want to do anything with it. So that affects us. And then the other thing is, and we see this especially in religion, certain religions, is like where the belief is that the body is evil. That the body is something, we need to be afraid of. That the body is something we need to dominate. That the senses are something that are wrong. So then also we start to disconnect, right? Because we don't see the divine. And once we don't see the divine in our bodies, we're out of wholeness. Right? So it starts to influence us. Also in medicine it happened, right? For a period in Western medicine, the body was looked at as all these parts that can be treated. It wasn't looked at as a whole, and definitely there was no mind-body connection for a certain amount of time, right? So it also became very separate. So what do we do to reconnect? You know, to be honest, I think we all disconnected till a certain extent. You know, I think the very few people are fully inhabiting their bodies. It's like Eve Ensler, she wrote the Vagina Dialogues, you know, very popular, very well known. And, you know, she was all about inhabiting the body and bringing awareness. And she really thought that, you know, she was there. And then one day she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And, you know, she shares, it's like, yeah, I thought I was inhabiting my body, and then I got that diagnosis, and then I really got into my body, you know. God bless her that she didn't disappear from her body, you know, but she really started to inhabit it and work with it. And her mantra is like, as opposed to Descartes who said, I think, therefore I am, she had her mantra saying, I feel, therefore I am. You know, it's beautiful, right? It really connects us. So, you know, I don't say that we're all getting cancer to be aware of where we are in our bodies, but I think it is important for us to recognize that we all have certain things that we suppress and that we might not even know what it is. But just the willingness to say, it's like, let me breathe into those spaces that are uncomfortable. Let me breathe into those spaces that I'm not feeling. You know, it's very powerful. Kim Duramo, she's an osteopath and worked in emergency medicine for quite some time and then started her own business, the Mind-Body Connection. She says she has a process, and she says the first thing that is really important to do is bring awareness to our bodies, and then breathe into our lower abdomen. It was very interesting to hear what she had to say. She says, they're ganglia along our spine, and at the level of the chest, when we breathe into the chest, those ganglia are stimulated, but at the level of the chest, they invoke the fight and flight syndrome, you know, which is, again, very helpful when we need to keep ourselves safe, right? But if we continually breathe into our chest, we never get to relax. The parasympathetic nervous system doesn't get to do its job. So she says, when we really notice something in our body, what you do is you bring awareness, and then you start to breathe deeply into your abdomen. So you start to, you know, it's like activate those neurons that support the parasympathetic nervous system, and then the body can calm down. And she said, it's when something is going on, you bring awareness to it, not to make it wrong, not to push it away, not to fix it, but just to be with it, bring the breath to it, bring space to it. And once you bring space to it, the energy will move. You know, so there are two parts in there which is really important. It's like first we bring, or several parts. First we bring awareness, we create space, and then we listen. Right? The first week of the 6-week series, we listen to our bodies. Our bodies are intelligent. They can tell us what is going on. Right? They can tell us what it needs. You know, so we create the space. And then words is like, you know, the second week that Reverend Kristen talked is like, how do we talk to our bodies? How do we approach our bodies? Do we approach it as something that is annoying and is not doing what we want it to do? Or do we approach it lovingly, knowing that it is a divine expression and that it's just talking to us? You know, most of us take better care of our cars than of our bodies. You know, we know that when we don't take care of our car, we probably end up with a big bill later on. And some of us are so in tune with our cars that, like, we get in our car, we start the car, start driving, we're like, something is off. You know, you go like, what? Sounds good to me. You know, they go like, no, it just sounds different, right? And then we take care of it. But with our body tells us something, you go like, you know, our knees are then go like, oh, don't bother, you know, just get on with it. You know, it's not helpful. When we appreciate somebody, we all know that, right? When we are appreciated, it lifts us up. It adds to our life energy. It adds to our expression. When we do that with the body, it's the same thing. So we bring awareness. We check our attitude, and we give it space, and we listen. You know, where we see that are in some practices, the Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, you know, has brought mindfulness meditation all over the world. And his practice is truly beautiful. It's truly about being aware of every moment and of the preciousness of every moment and understanding where our bodies are in space and time. He considers the earth sacred. You know, so he says when we walk on the earth, we are aware of its sacredness. And we are aware of how we walk on the earth. So walking meditation brings great awareness of what we do with our bodies in relation to the earth. So after the first service, Ben Cabal was, you know, the Tai Chi master that is part of our community, was talking to me, and he says, like, yeah, but you learned from Thich Nhat Hanh is what they call the tiger walk. And in the tiger walk, what you do is like you put your toes first. And then you put your foot down, very consciously being aware of what is happening. And it's like putting your toe first, it's like kissing the earth. Isn't that beautiful? You know, kissing the earth while we're walking, experiencing its sacredness and connecting our bodies with it because our bodies are considered the earth as well. So when we do that, we connect mind, body, and earth, right? So it brings us into our bodies. Another teacher, John Kabat-Zinn, he is a professor emeritus of medicine, and he went in the 1960s, he went to India and learned to meditate and brought mindfulness-based stress reduction to our society. Again, a very well-known program that is taught in regular medicine. Actually, Kaiser Permanente offers the course for free, as far as I know. I know they offer the course, but as far as I know, it's for free, right? Yeah. So it's beautiful, right? So it starts to come into our systems. It's also taught at schools, you know, and it's taught in businesses. So in mindfulness-based stress reduction, they use mindfulness meditation. They use body awareness, yoga, and the exploration of patterns of behavior, thinking, feeling, and action. You know, so all of these things are just so powerful. Now, of course, there are many healing modalities, you know, that are accessible to us, right? Here at the center, the second Wednesday of every month, we offer Reiki. Reiki is energy healing. It definitely has, you know, interacts with the body. I have very powerful experiences with Reiki and healing. You know, there's massage, there's sound healing. There are all kinds of ways we can go about it. And then one thing that is also really important is food, how we relate to our food. And I really noticed that when I had COVID, like at the beginning of September, I got COVID for the first time, and it really hit me like a brick. It was like overnight, and my body was so uncomfortable. But the interesting thing was that part of me just surrendered. And not surrendered in the way of like, oh, I'm just going to give up. But there was this level of acceptance that was beautiful to experience. I was like, oh, I got COVID. My body is working something out. All right, let me see what it is. And so I really started to pay attention to my body. So even though I was uncomfortable, my mind was really at peace most of the time. Not always. It took me 12 days to get over it. And by day 10, when I still tested positive, I had my little hissy fit and then got over it again. And, you know. But the experience was amazing. And even on day 1, you know, when I really felt that surrender, I could feel something in my body, and I go like, hey, transformation is happening. I'm not quite sure what, but that's okay. I don't need to figure it out. Let me just keep looking. Let me just pay attention. And then, you know, so I started to pay close attention to what I needed. And I was like, usually when I'm sick, I'm not very often sick, but like when I have the flu, I want junk food. It's like, doesn't make sense at all, but that's what I want. You know, I can't even think of eating vegetables. This time, it was like, eat healthy food. There was no desire for sugar. There was no desire for coffee. I just wanted healthy, nutrient-dense food. So that is what I did. You know, I took certain herbs that works for me. And then I thought, let me take Tylenol PM, because in the past, if I couldn't sleep or if I was uncomfortable, that would happen. My body would not have it. I took it and I was restless all night long. It took me 3 days to catch on that if I didn't take it, I actually slept well. But again, it's like my body was so clear about what it needed. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with Tylenol, you know, because it worked for me at other times, but not this time. That is not what it needed. And food became so important. And what I noticed is that when I eat really good food that is alive, then my body is satisfied. Then there are no cravings. I'm just good. You know, and my body can do its work. It's like, it has taken a little bit. It's like, took 12 days, and then I started to feel a lot better. But I could feel like over time it was still working itself out in my body. And it's just this constant noticing. It's like, oh, okay, it's still doing this. That's fine. But just keep feeding it well. You know, research has shown that when we grow our own food, and it's like when we grow our own food, we give it attention, right? Most of the time, we give it love, we care for it. And who has experienced, like I have a community garden, and I'm growing tomatoes, and my tomatoes taste so good, right? It makes such a difference, and it's amazing because they taste even better than the organic tomatoes from Whole Foods. You know, makes a difference. It's like on my patio, I have strawberries. And even the strawberries, you know, they taste so good. And research has proven that, you know, homegrown vegetables or vegetables that are grown like with attention, that they taste good, and when they taste good, the nutrient density in the vegetable is really high. So nature set it up for us perfectly, right? It tastes good, so we want to eat it, so we get the nutrients that we need. You know? But again, it makes all the difference. And when I eat good food, and when my body feels that satisfaction, it's not craving for the vitamins or the, you know, whatever it needs in that moment, the life force it needs, then it relaxes. And again, it brings us to a space that when we need to release something out of the body, it has the energy to do that. It has the energy to process it. So Dan Barber, he's a real advocate for the farm-to-table movement. He's a chef and has several restaurants. He is sharing in the chapter on the body, he is sharing that, you know, they even see it in the restaurant, that animals raised with integrity, the meat is much better than animals that are raised out of integrity. It's amazing, right? And it makes a lot of sense. So when we reconnect with our bodies, you know, we experience our wholeness, we experience the grace and the joy in our bodies. You know, we move in the world with more ease. We can stay centered. We're not off kilter so quickly, right? When something happens, we can process it better. Our blood pressure lowers. Our heart health is better, you know, and yeah, we experience greater joy. But it's not just for ourselves. Also, what I notice is like when I can be with what is going on in my body and I have compassion for myself, then I can also have compassion for others. When I have to deal, or when I deal with the trauma in my own body and start to understand the process, I start to look at the world differently. You know, because then I can understand why some other people might not be able to override what is going on for them. You know, when I connect with my body, it makes a difference in how I live my life. It makes a difference who I vote for because I want to vote in alignment with my values. It makes a difference where I shop because I want to connect with the shop owners who are in alignment with my values. I want to go to the farmer's market where I get better quality food. You know, when I am in alignment with my own body and I experience the wholeness, then I support organizations who also do that for other people. Because the truth is, again, we are all connected. So when I take care of my body, it doesn't matter. My body can be super healthy, but if the world around me is not healthy, then I'm still not in wholeness. Because we are connected. There is no separation here. You know, and the body is a perfect metaphor for that. You know, years ago, I had something going on the little toe of my foot. And it didn't seem to be a big deal. It was like a little bump. And I asked the doctor about it. I go, it's not a big deal. You know, I don't have to worry about it. And then it started to hurt a little bit. And I was asking them about it. And they go, it's probably just arthritis. You know, you don't have to worry about it. There's nothing we can do about it. And then it grew a little bit more. And it became so painful that I could not wear closed shoes. And at night, when I laid in bed, I had to hang my foot over the edge of the bed because I could not tolerate a sheet on my foot. So that was my toe, but my toe was not separate from the rest of my body. So my toe was hurting, my whole body was contracted, and my mind. Because there was this constant awareness of this pain that I had to deal with. And then I went to the next doctor, and they said, like, oh, that's interesting, let's take an x-ray. And I went like, wow, what a novel idea. It would be nice if that had happened a few years ago. And so what they noticed is that there was just this little pearl of cartilage sitting on the joint of my toe. And so they did surgery, they removed it, and all was fine. And it was amazing. My partner at the time said, your whole body posture changed. Just because I took care of that. But it means that toe was not separate from the rest of my body. And so if we expand that metaphor to the world, we are not separate from anybody else. So the more we can inhabit our bodies, the more we can love our bodies, the more we can let the joy and the grace flow in our bodies, it affects the community around us and the care we have for the community around us. Yes? Great. So let's anchor this with our affirmation. That's not it. I know it exists. I saw it earlier. Okay. Let me just say it to you, and then we can repeat it together. Affirmation is, I appreciate the divine gift of my body. I treat it well and experience its grace and joy. So repeat after me. I appreciate the divine gift of my body. I treat it well and experience its grace and joy. Thank you.
Creaks in my body just walking up 2 stairs. Thank you, Johanna, for bringing all that to my experience. But thank you for that latter part, particularly the linking of how we are with our body and how that can free us up to be different in the world. I think that's the real big lesson for today. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to give myself a big hug. A deep breath. Thank you, Carl. Our prayer chaplains are available after the service today to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain serving today, stand up.
Thank you,
Our
guys.
prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles.
So whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now, let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
And for your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give financially to this community, which are shown on the slide in front of you. For those of you watching online, there's a donate button on the Watch Live page. We encourage everyone to avoid bank fees and set up automatic giving to Unity through your bank's bill pay system.
I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes comes living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone. There's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? And will I have the help of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and I ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Let me hear you sing it if you know it. I'm the place. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. All right, sing it one more time. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place,
I am the place where God
you
lives.
are
the place where God
You
lives.
are the place.
Moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place.
I am the place where God shows up.
Yeah, come on. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives.
are the place.
Moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place.
I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Yes, yes.
Right? So good. Yay. Invite the ushers to come forward. Oh, all this energy we're feeling, let's take it inside and just revel in it and then turn it into the beautiful blessing for all the gifts we have received right here in the basket and online, knowing that the giver and the gift and whoever the gift is touching are blessed, that the divine light increases for all who are involved. And let's say together, we give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. And so it is.
Bring in the
Thank
kids. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you. The light in you and the light in me are one.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. We got a nice big group of kids, and we are super excited today. What's going on? Who wants to share what we're doing on the patio today? Yeah.
Pumpkin and bake sale.
Pumpkin and bake sale. And raise your hand if you brought a treat to sell at the table. Yeah. Yeah, they've been working really hard this week, making all kinds of treats. We've got muffins, we've got Rice Krispie treats, we have cookies, we have cupcakes, we have anything you want, and we have pumpkins that we painted. And how much are they? Who knows? Yeah.
$1,000.
There. Yes. They are $1,000. Or what else? Maybe.
However much you want them to be.
That's right. Yeah. They're for a love donation. So if you want to give $5 or $1 or $20 or $1,000, what are we going to say? What are we going to say? No matter. We're going to say
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. And all of the money goes to our Unity Youth Program. And I just want to thank Henriette for helping us today. We had a really fun time, and we appreciate your help. So we'll see you right out there on the patio. It's sprinkling a little, but it's fine. So come on out and get a treat and a pumpkin. Thank you.
Great. So let's bless our teachers and our children. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. So it is.
All right, and we are going to close with all good, all good. Please rise in body or rise in spirit. And if you if you want, you can take this in through your heart. Put your hands in your heart. If you like to hold hands, put your hands out. Make sure you get permission. Make sure the other person wants to hold hands. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is good, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is love, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is one, holy, holy. All in my mind. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is one, holy, holy.
Remember, you are the light. You are the love and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine, have fun, and spread joy.
An angel asked me, do you know who you are? The question and the answer is not very far. The song of the sages, the knowledge of the ages is living where you reside. And you have the key that unlocks every door. Enter in that special place you haven't gone before, where deep meets deep and soul to soul. Feel that connection as the truth unfolds. I am. You are the answer, yes, you are the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you to be. Look deep inside you, trust the force that guides you, it knows the way. There is no separation, you're one and the same. The child of the Creator, no, not different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. to the trees. I am all the stars and constellations. I am, you are. I am from the mountains to the oceans. I am from the rocks to the trees. I am all the stars and constellations. I am, you are. Oh, ooh, I am, I am, I am, I am.